Greetings and welcome to today's session. Today we are going to look at ICT paper 2, that is for new lower secondary curriculum, and I would like us to focus on the two items. And to continue with our elements of construct, again, I'm your host, KAKURU BENARD, going to take you through the two items of paper 2. So, to begin with, element of construct 4, which forms the basis of assessment for the practical paper of item 1, it says that manipulates data using different application programs. And then element of construct 5 that forms the basis of assessment for the practical paper item 2, it says uses publishing software to design, produce, and publish publications and websites. So today, I would like us to focus on these two elements of constructs that form the practical paper. So, to begin with, item 1, where a learner is manipulating data using different application programs. Which skills are we looking out for? 1. Has the candidate used an appropriate application? Is there an element of data entry, e.g. tabulation of data or importing and all that? Is there editing because they are provided with support files? Have they edited the work in the support files? Is there an element of formatting to make the work visually appealing? Relevant use of application tools. So here I'm going to showcase a number of application tools and how they are used. Number 6, representation of data. If it is PowerPoint, we expect a multimedia presentation. If you have done Microsoft Excel, we expect there a visual summary, call it a graphical object. And then lastly, presentation of the product, either in soft copy and hard copy. So generally, those are the skills we expect a candidate or any learner manipulating data using different application programs to exhibit. So more to that, item 1 is taken from the following topics. Topic 4, word processing 1. Then topic 9, word processing 2. Topic 5, spreadsheet 1. Topic 10, spreadsheet 2. Topic 6, presentation. Then topic 12, database management system. Those are the 4 applications where a candidate is manipulating data from. So we don't expect a learner to use publisher on item 1. There are basically 4 applications. That is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, database. A learner is using both basic skills and advanced skills to manipulate data using these 4 applications. Now, when we talk about word processing and its relevant application tools, which tools are we talking about? You can mention things like copy and paste. We have an element of copying and pasting. For example, you have created multiple pages. You are copying content from one page to another. You have to create tables, evidence of data tabulation, headers and footers, page numbers, table of contents, shapes, images, wrapping text, especially if you have inserted an image or a shape, you have to wrap it around text and all that. Then background colors, borders can be text borders, paragraph borders, or page borders, mail merge element, drop caps, up to 5 lines, watermarks, then maybe watermark to a particular page or to the entire document. Then general text formatting, making the text, making your paragraphs visually appealing, endnotes and footnotes, captions, hyperlinking, equations and symbols, etc. All these are application tools under word processing. How about spreadsheets? These are the application tools under spreadsheets. Copy and paste, or what you can call importing, a visual summary, what you can call the charts, the graphs, etc. Graphical objects. Headers and footers. You must rename the worksheets. You must use basic functions like sum, average, product, max, etc. Those basic functions under spreadsheet 1. Then advanced functions that come under spreadsheet 2, like if, countif, rank, etc. Sorting and filtering, labeling of charts and graphs, grids and borders on your work, worksheet formatting, general worksheet formatting, maybe putting background colors, changing font style and text, putting the orientations and all that. Page layout and setup. In case work is not fitting on one page, what should you do? Go under page layout, orientation, landscape, continue and ensure that the work fits on one page. Formulas and functions, then background colors, text wrap, etc. These are application tools under spreadsheets. Let's now look at application tools under presentation or under PowerPoint. There is an element of copy and paste in case you are making slides. There is an element of importing slides from outline or using slides. All that is importing. Then use of smart art, charts and graphs, headers and footers, speaker notes, slide design, slide layout, applying images, linking of slides using action buttons, animations and transitions, slide master, sound and timing, multimedia, that is to do with text, audio, image, video, shapes, handouts, etc. These are application tools under presentation PowerPoint. And lastly, let's look at the application tools under database. When it comes to access, we need to see application tools used such as importing. The access objects start with tables, do some queries, forms, and then reports. Headers and footers in forms and reports. Calculated queries, calculated forms, adding background colors, customized field properties such as adding a UGX symbol, medium date or short date, then data types, correct query criteria, adding images in forms and reports, date and time, etc. So these are application tools under database. Now, these application tools that we have looked at, now we generate what we call a score sheet for that very item. This score sheet starts with planning. We are looking at, has the candidates used relevant application programs, and especially a candidate must use a minimum of 2 applications. Now, I want us to look at one item. After going through that item, we manipulate data using different application programs. Then we shall come back and focus on this very score sheet that has been made for that very item. So, today we are focusing on this paper. It is for CABS Resources Center, August-September 2025. It is a paper for 2 hours and a half. It is a practical paper and it has 2 items. A candidate is supposed to do all the items in this paper. The support files are called CABS Support Files 2025. This scenario and the task, where the scenario was saying that in Kampala, a community-focused organization called Uganda Digital Skills Foundation, UDSF, has been dedicated to training Ugandans in ICT health and safety for the past 8 years. Recently, UDSF was invited by Ubuntu Tech Academy, a growing tech company, to conduct a 5-day ICT health and safety training for its team. This training aimed at equipping employees with best practices for a safe digital workspace, successfully covered key areas relevant to the tech industry. During the program, each of the 10 participants from Ubuntu Tech Academy received a daily allowance of 20,000 Ugandan shillings in recognition of their performance. Certificates of excellence were awarded to the 3 most outstanding trainees. Task: using the support files provided, prepare a report on this training program and send it to the training manager. You are required to include all the relevant documentation and summaries of the training outcomes. So we are going to first approach this item 1, then after we can do item 2. So having read through the scenario and the task, we can now look at the support files, what has been provided in the support files, so that we can know what to use and what to do with these support files. So these are the support files on the desktop, and we have item 1 folder. Item 1 folder, I can see it has images, there is a video clip, then I can see these are images, a logo, then here there is an Excel file, then there is also a Word document file. Okay, when you look at this Word document file, I can see it has some headings from here, you can see it has some headings and all that. So meaning that having looked at these support files, we can now create a folder in our names. After creating a folder in our names, that means that we are going to save our work in this folder. So let's create another folder called item 1. We can also have another one called item 2. Then in item 1, it's where we are going to save our content. We're going to apply Microsoft PowerPoint. So we are going to use PowerPoint, Excel, and Microsoft Word on this very item. Let's get started. We have created a folder in our names, item 1. So from here we are going to save our work. So I open item 1 folder, and now from item 1 folder, I'm going to use this file which was called training presentation content. So I'm going to create a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. I can call it KAKURU BENARD. I open. Then this presentation, I'm going to import the details of this training presentation content into this presentation. So we go new slide, slides from outline. We look for them from the desktop, ICT support files, item 1, training presentation content. We now load them into our presentation. So this one gives you ready created presentation slides. So from here, we can now modify them and make a clear presentation by utilizing the support files, the images provided. We have been given even a video and all that. So let's get started. We can first put a design. So under design, from here, pick a design of your choice. For example, me, I can put this retrospect. That is my design so far. Then the rest you can put animations, you can put transitions, you can put headers and footers and all that. So we go to view, slide master. Under slide master, scroll up and select the first slide, which is the parent slide. You make it a slide master. We can do the following customization. 1, I can change the headings, let's say to Times New Roman, bolded, maybe with a shadow, and maybe color blue, and increase font size maybe to 50, 54. Then here also Times New Roman, and maybe font size 32. Go to insert, header and footers. We can put slide numbers, we can put date and time, we can put a foot of our names, we can apply all. More to that, we can have at least a logo, insert, picture, this device, desktop. From the support files, item 1, here is a logo. We can reduce it, we put it somewhere here. More to that, we can also look at we can put a line, for example this line, format shape, we can give it a certain color and increase width, something like that. Can put it somewhere there. I think from here we can put some animations, we can put some transitions. So headings, we go to animations, we can choose for example maybe swivel. Someone can choose grow and turn. Then for the text, select the text box. You can put for example bounce. Those are the animations. Save changes. Someone would also put transitions, so you have to put transitions. So with transitions, pick any. For example, you can pick doors, apply to all. Someone would put also to automatically run after 0.2 seconds, apply to all, save changes. Another one would put sound, any. For example, maybe camera, I apply to all. These are some of the things you can do with the slide master, and they are applied everywhere. So go to slide master tab, close master view. So we have put a logo to appear on every slide. So from here we can now make slide 1. The layout here we can change our slide 1. This one, go to layout and say title slide. So that this one we can try to edit it. For example, something like this. I can also highlight this, I center, we can bold, can even change font style maybe to Arial. Yes, something like that, Arial narrow. One would put some image, so let me go to insert, picture. From this device, I can see some images here. I can insert one here, can use crop, try to reduce it a bit, something like this. We are making our slide stand out. Let me put a logo somewhere from this device. Here is our logo. We can put it somewhere here. Then more to that, we can put more images on our slides. For example, training objectives or key areas covered. Let's insert an image. Can put something like this. This image can fill this space. Okay. More to that, this is about ergonomics. Then we can also put another image here. We can insert and put some other image here. Can reduce it. We can change. Let me put this. This one is about screen time. So this is the screen time, so that we reduce screen time. Then we can even put another slide here. This slide, we can add more, for example, best practices. And under best practice, I can come to layout. I can put two column content. Here, I'm going to insert a video because I saw a video in our work. So insert video, or go to insert and choose video from here, from your device, or from these menus, select video. So I got desktop. In the support files, item 1, there is a video. So I've inserted a video here. So this video is able to play. So here, that is our video. Then here we can insert an image. For example, one would put this about stress management. So this video is about stress management. I mean, this image is about stress management. Okay. Then in the next slide, we can put more images. For example, here we can put another image, so that we distribute images across our presentation. So this image, we are looking at training objectives. Where else can we put an image? Maybe here. It's about digital safety. Okay, so at least the images are matching with our presentation and the topic. So lastly, one would link slides to one another. So let's go to insert, shapes, scroll down to action buttons. We draw an action button here. Link to next slide. Okay. Go to the next slide. Go to insert, shapes, action buttons. You draw here. Then from here, link to next slide. Click OK. Go to the next. Go to insert, shapes, and pick the action button. You link it to the next slide. Next slide, okay. And here we do the same. We link this to the next slide. And finally, when you reach on the last slide, we are not yet on the last slide. The last slide, we can link it to the first slide. So here we go under shapes, we pick this return button, we draw here and link this to the first slide. We click OK. So that is how linking is done. And maybe on this last slide we can put an image. Key takeaways, we are looking at safety in the workplace. So we save changes. So when you look at your presentation now from slide 1, we are looking at this. So let's try to run it. That was sound. That is an animation. How one slide, that is a transition. Those are animations. That is sound. So we have finished our multimedia presentation. When you come here, on this very slide, we have a video. Okay, so this is our last slide, and when you click this button, it should take you to the first slide, and that is our linking. So we are done here. To print, you click File, Print, then from your printer here, full page slides. Choose your printer, then from there, full page slides, choose handouts. Choose handouts, and these are our slides. All of them will appear on one page. This is presentation as part of our approach. So here we first designed the training materials using PowerPoint. So after designing the training materials using PowerPoint, we are done. So let's go in the support files. We get this file, we can save it. Click File, Save As. We save it in our working folder, that is on the desktop. KAKURU BENARD, Item 1. Training Attendance Financials, we can even leave it with that name and save. So here we are going to do editing and formatting of this data. So here we can begin by maybe changing the font style. I can maybe put it Times New Roman, maybe font size 14. That is editing so far. So participant name, daily allowance, etc. So I can add at least a new column for total allowance. So this, I can bold my headings. I can also wrap them, wrap text, something like that. So we have done wrap text, something like that. Even this we can do wrap text. Okay. So here we can do total allowance, equal signs. We can get total days attended times allowance that was given per day. So we press enter. We can now autofill. So this we have calculated. We can highlight our content. We come here and put grids or borders. We save changes. At this level, we can now maybe do some more designing. I can highlight this data. We apply at least a background color to the headings. Then we are now going to highlight participant name and total days attended. We can insert in a graph. One can insert a column graph, that is a 2D, a 3D. Someone else can insert a line graph. Another one can insert a pie chart, any graph. So for me, let me, for example, create a 2D bar graph. So this graph, I'm going to move it its own sheet. I can call it bar graph. Then I click OK. From here, I can put under quick layout, I can put all the details that we need. For example, layout 8, days attended. I can say a bar graph showing days attended. Then here, these are names of participants. Press enter. Then here we have days. Okay, that is our graph. So coming back here, I would like us to get the top 3 outstanding attendees. So when you look at here, there are those who attended all 5 days, others did not reach those days. So from here, we are going to copy this data. So we can copy this data. We add a new sheet. We paste this data here. And it is from this data, we are going to sort this column according to largest to smallest. We sort. So here you can see the top here are the ones who attended all the days. So we can come to conditional formatting, maybe color schemes. We can put some color schemes on them. If we want, we can even remove this data below. So these are top, you can say top 3 attendees. So we save changes. Now that we have finished, we can put headers and footers. So we go to insert header footers. Then I can go to footer, I put my other name. Then I go to the data of top 3. I also insert my headers and footers. I go also to footer, I put my names. I go to the chart, bar graph. I also insert headers and footers, custom header. I put my name. Then I go to footer, custom footer. I put my name. I click OK. Okay. So here we are done with using our Excel. That is the calculations we have done. So lastly, we need to prepare a report. So far, the PowerPoint and the Excel are the relevant documentation and summaries. So let's now create a report. Finally, we are going to use Microsoft Word. So here we can right click, go to new, create Microsoft Word document. We can call it training report. So this training report, I'm going to show how best can you create an outstanding report. So I'm going to use at least advanced functions in Word, advanced features, because at this level, a senior 3 learner has completed all these topics in senior 1, has completed computer hardware, file management and folder, word processing 1, spreadsheet 1, electronic presentation, information access and sharing, health and safety, word processing 2, electronic spreadsheet 2, electronic publication, and database management system. So I'm going to showcase word processing 2 skills as well in this very number. So we are going to finally create a report. So I continue to encourage you to understand these skills as you are approaching these items. So please, if you haven't grabbed these books, grab a copy of these books. The books are available in stock, and there are also these other sourceful books, for example, for designing websites using Expression Web. There is also that one for designing websites using WordPress, and also this other ICT Mastery, one of the comprehensive one, ICT Mastery for Uganda's competence-based curriculum, S1 to S4 guide to theory and practical success. Grab this book and do your best with ICT. My contacts are here. Please can call me, you can WhatsApp me and see how best you can have this book. 077 56 107 62. Call me, WhatsApp me, and you see how best you can get these books. So let's now create a report. So we are going to create our report. We can start by writing some text, training reports. This report was done by, we have seen Uganda Digital Skills, yes, Uganda Digital Skills Foundation, and they were conducting ICT health and safety training program. So we can say this maybe report date. We can say November 2024. Report by, you can put your names, KAKURU BENARD. This can be some of the information that I will need maybe for my home page, I mean for my first page. Then let's look at the details of the report. We can have introduction. So under introduction, we can say that this report, this report is an overview of the ICT health and safety training conducted by this one. That is Skills Foundation for employees of Ubuntu Tech Academy. The program held over 5 days, focused on the essential. Remember, you are getting all these details from the scenario itself, from the essential ICT practices to promote a safe and health digital workspace. So having done that, maybe someone can put training overview. What happened in the training? So here we can say, let's say the training was structured for 5 days, we may be covering a range of topics designed to educate participants on safe ICT practices, full stop. Sessions included. So here, when you look at the presentation we have just made, or the support files provided, they had some session outline. So here, when we open our Word document, there are some topics covered. We are looking at these ones, so we can copy this. We come here, so this one's here. Okay, yes, this one, this and this. So we have outlined them from the presentation itself. Then more to that, we can look at maybe financial summary. So with financial summary, we can say a total a total allowance of 20,000 Ugandan shillings per day was provided to each participant, something like that, based on attendance, full stop. So the summary below outlines total allowance dispersed. So here we can now go into our Excel data. Here from this Excel template we can copy this file. Here we copy this work on sheet 1 and we paste it here on our report. So we copy and paste. So here we have pasted our file. We shall come and modify it later. That was the total allowance. Then we can also continue to say for more details, refer to the attached Excel file. Then let's look at, maybe because they said in the question, remember we are getting all these details of report from the scenario provided. Then they talked about certificates. Okay, so we can say maybe certificates of excellence. So here we can say certificates of excellence were awarded to the top 3 participants, based on their performance throughout the training. Okay, so here that is it. So we can now bring out the top 3 participants from our Excel data. Top 3, we can highlight this data, we copy, we come in our Word document, we paste this information. Then more to that, we can talk about attendance. A total of 10 participants. From Ubuntu Tech Academy were trained for 5 days. Full comma. Though some trainees never attended all the days, others completed the whole training days. So something like this. So it means that consider the chart below. So here we can also go into Excel. We look at our bar graph. This one, we can copy our graph in Word. We come and paste here. So this is our graph showing how members attended, and finally we can see how to conclusion. So conclusion, we can say that the ICT health and safety training workshop program was a success. Full stop. It equipped participants of Ubuntu Tech Academy with practical skills for a safe digital workspace. So we recommend these trainings to other organizations. So here, having done this report, we now need to modify it so that it looks better. So here we can select all, can put say Times New Roman, maybe font size 14, for example, and justified. So from there, we can also have headings. For example, this introduction, highlight this, make it heading 1. Also this heading 1, financial summary, heading 1. More to that, certificates of excellence, heading 1. Attendance, heading 1. Conclusion, heading 1. Having put these headings, we can now put at least what we call, we are going to put table of contents on our report. We are also going to put list of figures on our tables and charts. So with this, I'm going to highlight this. I can reduce the fonts, the spacing here, so that it is as small as that. Then same applies here. Can reduce the line spacing. Then this one, we are going to increase font size. Can put it to center. We can increase font size. Here I'm going to put a logo. So I want us to design a better report. So a logo in item 1, can pick that kind of logo. Then this one, we can make it stand out. I can change maybe to Arial black. Training report. I can give it a certain color, for example that, and also to have the font color of their logo, something like that. Then from here we can have maybe this. I can put some line here. I can as well put a line here to have my report clear. Then below here I can insert an image from our support files. This image can be here, so that this one is our first page. So this is how our first page has been designed, like this. This is our first page. Then below here we can have at least table of contents. So I'm going to insert to references, table of contents. We can have table of contents here. This is our table of contents. So this table of contents, we can even highlight this. Under home, I can center. Here, uppercase can be bolded, font size increased. So after table of contents, one would even put list of figures. So list of figures, for example, this is our table. Select it, under references, insert caption. So from caption, this is table 1, we can say allowance distribution. That is the table. It must be above the table, the title. And so this is our caption, allowance distribution. It is being talked about here. More to that, we have another table here. We can go to references, insert caption. Remember, here we are dealing with advanced word processing to also have these tools utilized. So these are top 3 participants. We click OK. So we can increase font size a bit. Then we have this graph. This graph, select it, references, insert caption. This one is a figure label. Instead of table, put figure, then label it. So this one is saying this is a graph, a bar graph showing attendance. Click OK. So this one goes below. You can increase font size. And now we have our conclusion. It is from this that one can come here below table of contents. You insert list of tables. So below here, I go to insert table of figures. Here, list, caption, table. Click OK. So tables are here. Then we can also have list of figures. So below here, insert table of figures. Here you say figure. Okay. So here we are almost done. These ones we can also make them headings. So you come here, right click, update. So everything is now okay. So let's have this information starting on its own page. So this information is starting from its own page. We save changes. So how do we make our page 1 unique? So 1, we can go to design. We can put at least a background color in our work. For example, I've decided to put that background color in our work. Another one, we would even now change. Let's now change our page 1 to have a unique background color. How do we do that? So first, ensure that all pages can be seen. We are going to draw a text box here. So under shapes, so let's insert a text box. I draw a text box up to there. After drawing that text box, make sure it covers your page very well, something like that. After making that text box, you come and say send backward, send behind text. Then from there, you can choose to fill the shape with a certain color that you are interested in. So for example, I'm interested in that kind of background color. So here, you can see page 1 has its own color than the rest of the other document pages. So finally, let's put a border under page design, page borders. I can choose shadow, and of this size, of this color. I apply first page only. I click OK. So that is a border to page 1 only. So insert page numbers, bottom of page. I can insert page X of Y. So I insert at least page numbers in the center. Here we have our page numbers. After putting your page numbers on your document, our document has 4 pages. Our report, 4 pages. We have a cover page. We have table of contents, list of figures, introduction up to conclusion. So next is to print. Maybe before printing, make sure you don't have any spelling errors. So here, check and cross-check through. You can ignore those ones or you add them to the dictionary. So select, do cross-checking, and make sure that everything aligns well in your document. So we have done all that. That is reviewing your document to ensure that there are no spelling errors. So we click OK. Now our document is fine. Save changes, click File, Print. So on printing, for example, this is our page 1, is a cover page, printed like that. Page 2 will be having table of contents, list of figures, and list of tables. Then here, introduction up to that. So at this level, we are done. So you choose A4 here, then you print your work. So that means that here we have finished dealing with item 1, where we managed to do a presentation, which we printed as handouts. We managed also to do a report in Word document. Here is our report. We also managed to do an Excel file while attempting item 1. So please, here the skills have been exhausted. We have exhausted all the skills. Use of appropriate application. We have used Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. We have done data entry. We have edited. We have formatted. You saw how our work was visual appealing, especially the report, the PowerPoint, and even Excel. We have used the different application tools. We have represented our data in form of multimedia. There was PowerPoint, because we also did graphical presentation. And finally, the soft copy is here. So up and now, here is item 1. Your uncle is the head of finance at Sunrise Supermarket. Part of his job is to analyze daily sales records to track business performance and support decision making. However, he lacks advanced computer skills and has approached you for help in organizing and analyzing the supermarket's daily sales transactions to assist in financial reporting. The supermarket management will make the following important decisions based on the report. 1. Any product that generates sales above UGX 500,000 per day will be considered a fast-moving item, while the rest are just normal sales. Number 2, the top 2 best-selling products will be featured in the store's monthly promotions. Number 3, a bar graph must be generated to visualize the performance of the fast-moving products for easier decision making. Your uncle has provided you with the sales records in a file named salesdata.xlsx. task. Using the provided files, analyze and organize the sales data to generate a report for the supermarket's management. So when you are going through this video, you can pause and look at this task closely. So this is the task that I've managed to fit on the screen so that it starts from the beginning to the end. Now, after looking at this very task critically, now we open the support files. Here are the support files. We have item 1, sales data. I'm seeing item 2, my hospital. So sales data inside, I can see we have 1, there is a logo. This logo says Sunrise City Supermarket. More at that, there is performance report.doc. So here is performance report.doc. Then there is also sales data.xlx. So performance sales data.doc. This is a document showing it is a demo report which will need you to accomplish it. Then the sales data. This is an Excel template. Let's see what is in Excel. Yes, this is sheet 1. It has customer ID, customer name, number, etc. And we are seeing the values in this very data. Now, we are supposed to use those files. We analyze them and organize the sales data to generate a report for the supermarket. Now, we have seen that in the support files, we have this sales data.xls. That is an Excel file, and it means that we are supposed to use Excel now to have a visual summary of our work, electronic version of the work. So we are going to ensure that we manipulate data using spreadsheets so that we do calculations and generate those sales that are above 500,000. We also group those which are fast moving items, others will be normal sales. Then we filter out and get those top best selling products. This one we can do it using Excel, or even we create queries to filter out the best selling items. Then we must have a graph that is in Excel. So finally, we are supposed to make a comprehensive report using the data generated in Excel to have a comprehensive report. That means that attempting this task requires spreadsheets, database to create some queries, and finally, word processing. That means that we are going to manipulate data using those 3 applications. And again, I'm saying a candidate is supposed to use a minimum of 2 applications. That means that now a candidate can choose to use Excel and word processing, those 2. But an excellent candidate will go ahead to use database so that you can fetch more scores on this very item. Let's get started. So to begin with, we have seen the support files. So as I'm starting, I'm going to copy these support files. I select all of them, select all, copy, Ctrl A, Ctrl C, or highlight, copy, come to the desktop. On the desktop, we are going to create a folder. So I'm going to create a folder in my names as a candidate, KAKURU BENARD 045 as my personal number. I press enter twice. Inside this folder, I create another subfolder. We are looking at file and folder management. So we right click, go to new folder, item 1. I open item 1 and paste, Ctrl V. Let me also create another folder for item 2. Item 2. I go in our support files. I copy data for item 2, the support files. I see their images, Control A, Control C. I go in my item 2 folder. I paste the work there. So I've pasted the images, the support files in my working folder, and also under item 1, I've pasted the work there. Now, let's begin manipulating data and attempt item 1. I will start by opening the sales data XLX from my folder. Then we start by doing editing. Now, while we are editing, we are going to do the following: editing, formatting, and relevant use of application tools. Let's get started. So here I select my entire worksheet. I'm going to do editing. For example, I can use Arial Narrow as my font style. I increase it to font size 12. That is editing of the support files. I double click to ensure that my content is fitting at least in the columns. More to that, let's do some calculations. So here we can calculate. We are seeing unit price, quantity sold, category, etc. So here we can get unit price times quantity to get total sales. Total sales. So here we can calculate total sales by using a formula or a function. Equal signs, we get F2 star G2. We press enter. So we click in the answer and autofill. There we have used a basic function. I mean a basic formula to get total sales. Then going back to the task and the scenario itself, they are saying any product that generates sales above UGX 500,000 per day will be considered a fast moving item, while the rest are just normal sales. So meaning that one is going to use an advanced function to do the ranking. So we can call it, for example, remarks. And under remarks, one is going to use if function. Let's use the if function. Equal signs, if, open brackets, if the total sales are greater than 500,000, comma, open quotes, fast moving item. Is it item or product? Yes, fast moving item, close quotes, comma, open quotes, normal sales or normal sale. We close the quotes and close the brackets. So this is our if. We are trying to give a remark of the sales category. So we press enter, we click in the answer and autofill to get the rest. Double click to ensure that the content fit in the column width. So far, we are seeing that some products are fast moving items, others are just normal sales. So some are fast moving items, others are normal sales. So we are going to highlight this top row. We can bold the top row. We can also apply wrap text. After applying wrap text, we can choose at least where to put our content. Top centered. Yes. Okay, so from here we are going to highlight our data and put grids, but before that we are seeing total sales revenue. So here it means that we need to calculate total sales revenue by summing up the total sales. Equal signs, sum, open brackets, we highlight our total sales column, we close the brackets, enter. These are our total sales revenue. Then average sales. Below here we can use average, equal signs average, open brackets. We highlight our total sales column, that is equal signs average, open brackets, H2 to H16. We close the brackets and press enter. So these are our average sales. Next, we highlight our data. Let's highlight our data. We put grids. So from here, we can put all borders. Save changes, Ctrl S. Next, we have said that while dealing with Excel, you must put the following. There is an element of copy and paste. You must create a visual summary, which is a graph. You must put headers and footers. You must rename your worksheet. We have already used the basic functions and some advanced functions. We are still continuing. We shall do sorting and filtering. We shall label our graphs and charts. We have put borders. We shall do general worksheet formatting. We shall do page layout and setup. We shall do some background colors. We have so far done wrap text. Now, from here, I would like us to put headers and footers. We go to insert, headers and footers. So here, my header, KAKURU BENARD. We got footer and put our personal number 045. We go back to footer, click in our work. So after doing this, you can see our work has been split. So what did you do? Go to page layout, orientation, landscape. If the work still is not fitting on landscape page, what did you do? Still come here under page setup, click the ribbon launcher under page setup for more. So go there, say fit to paper size A4. So here we select A4 and then we click OK. This work must fit on an A4 page, however big it is. We save changes. Next, one can think of putting at least a UGX symbol because you are seeing unit price in UGX. So I can highlight the column for this unit price. So we select our column for the unit price, even for total sales. We can highlight these two columns. Now, still on the home tab, one can go under the ribbon launcher under the number tab, or right click where you have highlighted and say format cells. Then from there we go under currency, decimal places, reduce them to 0. Then symbol, we type UGX on the keyboard very fast and select it. We click OK. So we have applied UGX symbol on our total sales column and the unit price. Next, the task is saying that any product that generates sales above this is considered as a fast moving item. Then more to that, the top 2 best selling products will be featured in the store's monthly promotions. Then next, a bar graph must be generated to visualize the performance of the fast moving products for easier decision making. So that means that now, after doing this, you can decide to do advanced functions in Excel so that you filter out those which are fast moving items and then also the best 2 selling items. Or from there, if you are not going to do the filtering from here, go and create queries and filter out that. So to begin with, let's use Excel and get those fast moving items alone, and then thereafter we also get the best 2 selling products. Now we are going to highlight this information, the whole worksheet, Control A, we copy, create a new sheet, and we paste our data there. After pasting it here, I would like us now to filter out only fast moving items in this column of remarks. So under remarks, we are going to get those fast moving products. So here, this information at the bottom, we may not need it, or you can leave it there. So, but for now, let's remove this information, and I've removed it. So here, we are going to filter out to get only the fast moving items. So we click under the remarks, the title. Then on the home tab, we come and click sort and filter. And from here, we say filter. When you reach filter, from this, we can now come and select. We deselect normal cells so that we remain with fast moving items. We click OK. So here we have fast moving items only. So one can come and rename this sheet and say these are fast moving items. Then sheet 1, this is sales data. Yes, now we go back to fast moving items. We can highlight it. We go to borders and apply borders on our work. Next, headers and footers. Go to insert headers and footers. 045. Go to footer. KAKURU BENARD. Go back to header. Click in your work. Go page layout, orientation, landscape. Then go to page setup and ensure that the work fits on an A4 paper. A4, click OK. Next, we are seeing that a bar graph must be generated to visualize the performance of the fast moving products for easy decision making. Now, we are going to get the product name and the total sales. At least we create that visual summary, a graph. So we go to insert. Here we have graphs. One can choose a 2D. If you have seen that your neighbor has generated the same graph, for you go and change the graph, maybe you use a 3D. Or if your neighbor has used the 3D, for you can say, let me use a bar graph. Or if your neighbor has used the same graph, you can say, for me, let me use a line graph. Or if you don't want to use a line graph, you can say, for me, let me use a pie chart. But above all, what we need is any graph or any chart to visualize your content. So here, if I've generated, for example, a 2D, now we come to chart design and move this chart to its own sheet. Here, move chart, or right click on it and choose move chart, and then here, new sheet. This can be bar graph. Click OK. So from here, make sure you format your chart. One can change colors if they want, for example, like that. Then under quick layout, we are supposed to put titles and the axes. So here we click layout 9. We put a title, for example, a bar graph, showing fast moving items. Press enter. Then click here, that is y-axis. We can call this amount. Press enter. Then click here, we say items. Press enter. So from here we have labeled our graph very well. You can see this graph has a title, it has y-axis, and x-axis, that is the key. So from here, we are going at least to put headers and footers. Go to insert, headers and footers, custom header, 045, click OK. Custom footer, KAKURU BENARD. You must ensure that all your work has headers and footers so that when you are printing, this work is easily identified. So from there, we have sales data, our original sheet. We have a bar graph. We have fast moving items. Now, going back to the task, they are saying that the top two best-selling products will in the store, the top two best-selling products will be featured in the store's monthly promotion. So now, when you look at these fast-moving products, we are now going to select the best two. So we can highlight this data, we copy, we create a new sheet and paste there. After pasting this information, I would like us now to get we are now going to get the best two selling products. So here, how are we going to do that? Still under total sales, we can highlight total sales. On the home tab, we go to sort and filter. On the home tab, we go to sort and filter. We can come to filter. After that, click this down arrow. We come and at least remove we remove others and remain with the best two. So these are the best two. This one and that one. We click OK. So these are the best selling items. So we rename our sheet. We right click and choose rename and say top two best selling items. So we can put our headers and footers on this work. In the header, KAKURU BENARD. In the footer, 045. Go back to header, click in your work, page layout, orientation, landscape. Then go still on fit to. Make sure the work fits on an A4 page. We click OK. We save changes. So far, when you look at our Excel data, we have almost finished everything. Lastly, one can do general editing of the worksheet. We have done text wrap, we have put formulas, page setup, grids, labeling of our charts, we have done filtering, we have used advanced functions, we have used basic, we have renamed the worksheets, headers and footers, almost everything. We are remaining with at least background colors, and we get done from here. So from here, one can highlight our sales data, go home tab, and put some background color. Another one would highlight the data like that. We come still on the home tab, conditional formatting, color schemes. One can do something like that. That is general worksheet formatting. Still on the fast moving products, I highlight my data. Under conditional formatting, color schemes, I apply something like that. Save changes. Then top best selling products, we can also do something like that. We put a background color. We highlight these two products. Under conditional formatting, color schemes, we do something like that and save changes. So we have manipulated data in Excel, and most of the things we have achieved them. So we can now do the printing. So begin with the sales data, click File, Print. So from here, check, confirm that your data has headers and footers and it is well formatted. You click on Print. Next, go to the graph, click File, Print. Confirm that there are headers and footers, then click print. Next, go to the fast moving products, click File, Print, confirm that this work also has your headers and footers. Click on Print. Next, go to the top selling products, click File, Print, confirm that this work also has your header and has your footer, print. We are done with Excel and we have achieved whatever has been listed here while manipulating data in spreadsheets. Next, I would like us now to manipulate data using database. Let's say in Excel, you never did all these top selling products, fast moving items, and for you ended here and a bar graph, and you never filtered these ones. That is when you need at least database to do queries. Let's close this data, and now in our folder, we right click, we go to new, and create a Microsoft Access database. We can call it sales data base. We open it, we enable content. Now we have data which is in our sheet 1 of Excel. So we go to external data, new data source, from file, then we choose Excel. We are importing, we browse. From there, we click desktop. In our folder KAKURU BENARD 045, item 1, we are using sales data Excel file. So from this, we are now clicking OK. It is asking us, the Excel that you have selected has more than one sheet. Which one would you like to use? I would like to use sales data, which is on sheet 1. Remember, I'm imagining I've not done top 2 selling items and I've not done fast moving items. I would like to use a database to get those ones. In Excel, I did just sales data and graph. Now we are using database to continue fetching more scores. So I select sales data, I click next. First rows contain column headings must be selected. We click next, next. Then here we choose a primary key, which is customer ID, or if it is a different field, you select it. Next, we give it a name, sales data table. It is okay. We click on finish. Click OK. Close. So we have imported our data and it is here. So after getting this data, some columns need to be double clicked so that the content can fit here. Now, after getting this data, I would like us to do some formatting and editing of this table that we have just imported. One, we can remove these last cells here. We delete these records. We can also delete that record so that our table is like that. So next, one can highlight this data in the table. Under the Home tab, we can still use a different font style. For example, one can say, let me use Times New Roman, and let me put it at font size 12. That is editing and formatting. More to that, one can come to this alternate row, and you choose any alternating row, something like that. That is formatting and general editing. Save changes. We go back to view, design view. So under design view, we are going to put a primary key on customer ID. Select customer ID, put a primary key. The key goes there. Then we can change, for example, unit price in UGX here. One can come and put here the UGX under format, open quotes, UGX, close quotes, space, put hash, comma, more 3 hashes. Save changes. Or here under total sales, one can open quotes and say UGX, close quotes, space 0, comma, more 3 zeros. Any of those can work. We save changes. So when I click view, datasheet view, here the UGX symbol is applied. So we save changes. Now, after doing that customization of our table, changing data types, and all that, we are now supposed to create at least access objects like a query. So let's create a query, create query wizard, click OK, take all data from available selected using the double arrow, next. Let's give it a name. For example, we would like to get the fast moving items. We modify the query and finish. How do we get the fast moving items in a database? They have said that the products which are above 500,000 are considered as fast moving items. So it means that in our query, we are going to go criteria under total sales. We say greater 500,000. Then we run our query. So these are the fast moving products. So we save changes and close our query. Next, we can also look at the best 2 selling products, which will be featured on the store's monthly promotion. So here, one can create still query wizard, click OK, take all fields. We are going to use maybe fast moving items. Next. We can call these ones best 2 selling products. Then we modify the query design and finish. So under total sales, criteria under total sales, we can say greater 700,000. We run the query. So these are the best 2 selling products. We save changes and close our query. Next, one would create a form. So let's create form wizard. We can create a form of the best selling products. I mean of the fast moving items. Take all fields. Next. Fast moving items form. We finish. Now, what are some of the things we mentioned here? We said we can put headers and footers, we can do background colors, we can put date and time, we can even put images, etc. So in this form, go to view, design view. So here, we can put date and time. Date, time. Click OK. This will return date, this will return time. So from here, I can right click, I go to fill color, and I choose, for example, that color. Even here, right click, fill color, I put a color. Then below here, form footer, create some space, pick a label, capital A, small a, you draw there, and write there your names, KAKURU BENARD 045, enter. That is a form footer. We have put background colors, date and time, so I can save changes, click view, form view. This is our formatted form with date and time, background colors, and a footer. Next, one can create a report of the best selling items. So I go to create report wizard, best selling items. Here I select them, take all fields, next. I can put it in landscape. Next, best selling products. best-selling product report. From here, I finish. Now, once your report is done, you are seeing some hash. As the fields are smaller, make sure you modify it, format it, and edit that form. Cross print preview. So one can think of reducing some fields to ensure that data is fitting. So we can begin by putting at least a background color. I also come here, I right click, I put a color, I right click here, I use the existing colors. Form footer, here I create space, pick a label, and write there your names. KAKURU BENARD 045. Then next we are adjusting the column width. I can highlight this customer ID, try to expand it a bit. Customer name, try to ensure that at least the column titles, if the column titles or the field titles are fitting, then the rest of the content will also fit in your fields. So here, customer name has been adjusted. Then phone number, we can also adjust it. Product name can be adjusted a bit. Phone numbers were a bit longer, something like that. Then category was a bit smaller. We can reduce it so that the unit price is a bit expanded because it has UGX. So something like that. Then quantity sold, we can maximize it a bit so that the word quantity is clear. These remarks we can reduce slightly there. Total sales. So we need to work on our column width so that everything fits there. Something like that. First click view, report view. So far all our fields can fit and the titles are complete. One would take it back to design view and say, on my report, let me insert image. I browse, I insert this sunrise logo somewhere there. Save changes. Now you are done with your database. Start printing. Open the table, click File, Print, Preview. Check. If the data is not fitting like this, put it to landscape. And after putting it to landscape, if the data still is not fitting, one can think of ensuring that this data fits. Go under margins and print it on a narrow margin, or the content will fit on your page. Print. Okay. Next, we go to the query, click File, Print, Preview, choose Landscape, Print. Okay. Next, go to the form, click File, Print, Preview. You will see your form like that. Now you can print. Okay. Next, open your report, click File, Print, Preview. So this one was already in the landscape. Click Print. Okay. You are done with your database. Close it. Next, we are now going to manipulate data in word processing so that we can produce a comprehensive report about Sunrise Supermarket. Now, in our support files, we are provided with performance report template. This is demo data, or it is draft data, which you are now going to make it final using the data generated in database or data generated in Excel. Let's get started. How are we going to do editing and formatting? We can, for example, highlight all the content. I choose, for example, Times New Roman, font size 13, something like that, and I justify my work. After that, what else can we do with this data? I'm going to make this a different heading so I can ensure that maybe this one I clear the formatting. I come and choose, for example, area narrow. I capitalize it, I center it, I can increase the font size, maybe something like that. Then below here, I want to make a cover page by using this title as the cover page. How am I going to do it? So here, I'm going to apply some shapes. I go to insert, shapes. Let me pick a line, use shift and draw a straight line. So here is my line. Go under shape format, shape outline, can give it some color. You can give it some weight, still under shape outline. Next, I'm going to put a logo, insert picture, this device, and from there on the desktop, KAKURU BENARD, item 1, this Sunrise Supermarket, that is my logo. Can try to expand it a bit. Next, report prepared by KAKURU BENARD 045, today 5th August 2025. So this, I can think of changing the font, for example, area narrow, bolded, that color, underlined, something like that. This one, I press enter, let me put double underline, something like that. Now, here I come and press enter so that it is in the middle of my page. Let's reduce the zoom and see how far it has gone. I would like us to ensure that this is centered, that information goes down, something like that. I think it is centered now. We are trying to create a cover page, report prepared by so and so. Now, after creating such kind of a page, let me put this line also here so that my work is a bit unique, like that, something like that. So we are creating a cover page. One can think of putting a border on the cover page. Let's put a border on the cover page. Go to page design, page borders. I pick shadow, color. Let me maintain the colors of sunrise, width 6 pt. Apply to this page, this section, first page only. I click OK. So here we have put a border only to page 1. We are creating a cover page. That is formatting and editing. Next, let's proceed here. We are looking at next we are looking at introduction. We are saying that the supermarket provides analysis of the daily sales transactions at Sunrise, etc. Findings, the total sales revenue. Now here we are going to get the data from Excel and paste it here. So let's open our Excel's data. We get our table. We get our table from the sales data template. Sales data. We can highlight this data. We copy and paste. So here we paste. After pasting this data, this data is too big, let's take part of it. For example, we are taking product name up to remarks. Yes, we take this, copy. So from here we paste. After pasting, let's reduce the font size and the border, the cell padding and cell spacing, 11. Then here one can say, let me reduce its spacing, something like that. Then we are also going to reduce the column width like that, do like that. We reduce here like that. Okay, next we are looking at products with the sales above UGX 500,000 have been classified as fast moving items. So here we are going to go to our Excel. We get the fast moving items. We take that very column, fast moving items. We select that data, paste it here. So we do the same. Let's get this data. Let's auto fit the columns. These are the fast moving items. Fast moving items. Let's also reduce. So these are the fast moving items. There were 4. Next, the best performing products, the best 2 selling products have been identified on the revenue. These products will be featured on the store's monthly promotion. So we come here, we get the top selling products, select the data. We are taking the product name. These are the best selling products. So here we can press enter. We paste our data. We auto fit the columns. Let's auto fit the columns. Auto fit the columns. These are the best selling products. Next, below is a visual summary representing the performance of the fast moving products. So we can say below is a column graph. Below is a column graph. So we come to our Excel data, bar graph. Actually, this was a column graph. Let's rename it as column graph, not bar graph. So this one, we select copy. We come in our Word document, we paste. So after pasting, we now have everything that we needed for our Word document, for our comprehensive report. Now, to continue, we have to have captions for our data. Let's highlight this table. Here we are saying total sales revenue and average sales per product. So we can have this as our caption. Highlight your table, go under references, insert caption, table 1. This information, it should be above the table. We click OK. So this is our caption for the table. We have put a caption. Next, we have another table here. We need to caption it very well. This table of ours here, we go to references, caption. This one shows fast moving items. Insert caption, table 2, fast moving items. We click OK. So this is also a caption for our table. Next, after doing that caption for our table, we are now going to bring the best performing products. So select these are the best 2 selling products. So select the table, insert caption under references, the best selling products. That is a caption. Next, this is a graph. So we can say a column graph. showing fast moving products. Fast moving products. So select your graph, is references, insert caption. Now this one is not a table, but it is a figure. So here we put the details. So this is, now it goes down, the caption goes down. Here we are saying a column graph showing, or a column graph representing the first, a column graph representing the first moving products, something like that. And we are almost getting done. Now I want us to put page numbers. We go to insert, page numbers, bottom of page. We put those page numbers. Here we have put our page numbers. More to that, I would like us to put table of contents, list of figures. So let's create space here. We create space here, and in this space I would like us to go to references, table of contents. We can select this. So here we have table of contents. Here is our heading, table of contents. We can highlight it, put it center. We can put it in uppercase. One can choose a color. Next, after table of contents, I would like us to have at least list of tables. Create space here. We need list of tables. So here we are going to have, we go to references, insert table of figures, and here I would like us to begin with the tables, click OK. So let's put a title, list of tables, and here we can also center it. We can increase its font size, color it, and lastly list of figures. So here we can have list of figures, references, insert table of figures, then here insert caption, which is a figure, click OK. And the title, we have list of figures, and it is only one. So here we are making our report final. This report of ours, first of all, has a cover page. From this cover page, the report has a border. It has page numbers, table of contents, list of figures, list of tables, and the entire information with tables and all the information that is needed as a comprehensive report. So from here, one can put at least headers. Go to insert, headers and footers. So we insert a header of at least our names, KAKURU BENARD, centered. I cross header and footer. So meaning that the work has headers and footers. One can think of at least putting a watermark only to this page, page 3. I click somewhere, I go to page design, watermark, custom watermark. Sorry, I want to put it only to this page, page design, watermark. Then here I pick any of these. For example, this don't copy. I right click and say insert at current document position. Then this word don't copy, click in it and write your watermark. For example, 045 as my personal number. So after writing that watermark, one can even adjust, let's say, give it a font color. For example, red, so that it is seen. That is my personal watermark only on page 2. Lastly, one can think of putting a page color, any page color to your work, We save changes, and now we print. Go file, print. So when you look at your work, this is a cover page. When you click print, all the work will come out. That is your cover page. That is page 2, tables, list of figures, table of contents. That is your report. So print and close your work. So we have finally manipulated data using different application programs which involved word processing, it involved Excel and Access. So this is the score sheet. The score sheet looks at planning. So with planning, we are looking at the competencies. Has the candidate selected the sufficient number of application programs with relevant content? So we have been putting the relevant content in word processing, in spreadsheets and database. A candidate must use a minimum of 2 applications. Total weight 2. Then when you are manipulating data, we are looking at the following skills that are picked from this skills table, this here, and we generate what we call a score sheet. A candidate opens and prepares a spreadsheet which can involve copy and paste. A candidate formats data. We have seen that we have changed the text appearance, we modified paragraphs, we have inserted shapes, we inserted images, we have formatted the shapes, we have formatted the worksheet, and all that. We have performed basic calculations such as sum, average. We have also applied conditional formatting. We have performed advanced calculations, if, count if. We have also done queries and filtering of best selling items, the fast moving items, etc. We have done importing. We have done copy and pasting so that we create a general well-formatted report. We have used document referencing features. We have added headers and footers. We have put captions. We have put table of contents. We have put list of tables, figures. We have labeled our graphs very well. We have named our database objects very well. We also renamed the worksheet. This is what the score sheet is all about. And now MP stands for data manipulation, how the candidate is manipulating data using those different application programs. So if a candidate has done from A up to F, we are seeing that this candidate has done more than what is sufficient, that is 5. P, this stands for the product. Now we are seeing if the candidate has generated any 2 appropriate products. For example, a list of top selling products, a graph summary of more of the fast moving items, and lastly, a well-structured report. If at least any of those 2 are in hard copy and soft copy, then the candidate has done well. So the product, and generally item 1, the score sheet, is around 9 to 10 scores, which are later converted to the 30 scale. This has been our session. Please grab a copy of ICT Mastery book S1 to S4. This book has been fully revised to make it the final copy. It has summarized notes S1 to S4. The book is newly revised with standard items for paper 1, fully revised items for paper 2. The score sheets are there, codes for scoring paper 1, complete new responses to all the activities of integrations, newly revised the responses to the 5 standard sets of paper 1, newly revised the responses to UCE ICT paper 1 2024, meaning that I've included the marking guide of UCE ICT 2024. Newly revised scoring guides for the respective items and evaluation grids for activities of integrations. Why candidates failed ICT items and solutions to the current candidates. This is your best tool to get that A in ICT. When you are buying this book, make sure it has this new curriculum 2025 second edition. When you are buying that book, make sure it has that stamp. Take note of that ICT Mastery for Uganda's competence-based curriculum, S1 to S4 Guide to Theory and Practical Success by KAKURU BENARD. Senior 5, Aligned Curriculum. We have Mastering Subsidiary ICT for A-Level. This is Senior 5, Teacher's Guide. It is a competence-based theory and practical approach, Book 5, the Aligned Curriculum. This is for Teacher's Guide. There is also Learner's Book. Grab a copy of Mastering Subsidiary ICT for A-Level. Book 6 is also coming out soon. Just wait for the updates. Grab a copy of Step-by-Step Guide Designing Websites Using Microsoft Expression Web by KAKURU BENARD. It is a simple book, but with all the steps needed in designing a website using Expression Web. What if we are WordPress diehards? There is a practical approach on designing websites using WordPress. Since WordPress is one of the leading content management system on planet Earth, please grab a copy so that you design your websites. It even has the steps to host the website you have designed for free, so that while you are out of that computer, you are able to log into another computer and see your designed website. It is a step-by-step guide to creating your own website, the easy way out. Please continue following me on my YouTube channel, KAKURU BENARD, bringing you all KAB's ICT Resources Center. KAB's, we believe that together against digital divide through trainings and resources. The purpose you are seeing me doing all these resources on YouTube, the reason why I'm visiting different parts of the country, to ensure that at least we eradicate that digital divide, that computer literacy is out in teachers, in the learners, and generally our community. Jabres, keep subscribing, keep following for the latest updates. See you in the next episode of Elements of Construct and Item Approaches. Coming up next will be for paper 1, where we are looking at item 2, how to approach item 2 and item 3 for the second element of construct in paper 1. See you. Gabriel.